this is the other side. You can see a couple of birds flying. There was a bunch of terns over the water, flying close enough sometimes. Perfect to test my setup for birds in flight. The cables were also a good challenge for my setup. Not that I was simply shooting with the default autofocus tracking settings. I just changed the area autofocus to wide and the subject tracking to bird, and of course it works quite well. Here is a full sequence in electronic shutter, something like 5 frames per second. There is no crop here. Shutter speed 1/4000, f6.3 at 250mm. Auto ISO with a -2 of exposure compensation or something like that. I did not remember how to switch to mechanical first curtain at the time, which I would have preferred. So as you can see, it seems that the focus is right on every photos, but for that kind of fast birds, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that a shutter speed of 1/5000 or 6000 would be the way to go. And with the Nikon Z50 Mark II, we are limited to 1/4000. You can see here, if I zoom, the head is not perfect. That said, you can still get sharp photos on fast birds like those, and probably 95% of keepers on any bigger birds. And if you want more keepers, you buy an R5 II or a Z8 and stuff like that. Because yes, gear matters in some cases. This is what you get with a small bird that is actually quite close. I think I got better the next morning. And this is what I saw the next day morning at 6 AM. A cloud mirroring the mountain. And there I go again, taking my chance, this time on the east side of the main road, so going toward the mountain that you just saw. And it was a little bit better, more enjoyable. More green and relax. At some point, I crossed the path of that old dog and I tried again a sequence of portraits with animal eye tracking autofocus. And this time, of course, we are close to a 100% of keepers. That dog was a bit grumpy, but he was just doing his job. And it was fun. This lens is a good choice for that kind of photos. You have a bit of compression making things in the background closer, and even though you have a maximum aperture of f4.5 to f6.3, you see that we have a good separation of the subject relative to the background. And that makes the dog stand out. That morning light was good as well. And if we zoom in, you can see that this lens is sharp. And the blurry background is quite pleasing to me. But you can see that there is a good amount of vignetting, which is okay with that particular sequence. The extreme corners are darker for sure. And here I fixed it. By the way, there is no editing, this is just the luminar default profile. And let me show you quickly what we get with the Nikon Z50 profiles in Luminar Neo. This is Nikon Flat, Landscape, Monochrome, Neutral, Portrait, Standard, and Vivid. Let me know which one you prefer in the comment and like and subscribe. Still on the way, I got a cat on a roof. Again, probably a 100% of eyes autofocus accuracy. All good and very sharp. This is a very nice telephoto zoom lens for that kind of job. Here the subject is a bit backlit, and I find that overall the quality is good. There is not much of chromatic aberration and things of that nature. I did not see any real flaring problem as well. Then I discovered that little pathway. On the map it's called Catmon Creek Esplanade Mandalagan. A very enjoyable esplanade that seems to be very long. I did not reach the end that day. The sound of the river, the wind, a few birds, a lot of prints. Very nice. There I tested a bit of bird eye tracking videography. So we have 4K 24 frames per second, .4K 60 frames per second, 2.5 times slow motion. Not a very good footage for this one, but I put it there anyway. And 1080p 120 frames per second, 5 times slow motion. Here you can see that the lens stabilization is good, but I tried to zoom in and out and this is not the smoothest. However, with a bit of practice I think it's possible. Then I waited here without moving for a while, and a very small brown-throated sunbird came very close. That's the luminar default profile without editing. And this is my quick edit, mostly shadow lifting, and I played a bit with the colors. Then I tried macro photography, first with the Renox DCR250, that little modifier that you can clip in front of your lens. For the first shot I forgot to adjust my settings, but you can see that yes, you can do macro with the Nikon 50-250 lens. And this is another quick shot, a tiny subject. The head is not in focus, but again, this is very good for a cheap lens that is not supposed to do macro at all. I think the next day I got better. This is day number 4, there is no more sun, but it doesn't matter because I will just do a few more tests and I will try some more macro photography, this time with extension tubes. I have those 36mm of extension tubes for Nikon Z, and I will try to get some good macro. The setup is a bit weird because even though we are at 50mm here, the lens look very long, but it should work anyway. And we have the Godox V350F here, so it's for Fujifilm, but it should work as well. Let me show you first the maximum magnification that you get at different focal length without the magnifier. It's not perfect, I did not use a tripod. So we have 50mm, 75, 100, 150, and 250. So for me this lens is actually very good for close-up, and we see also that the difference between 150mm and 250 is very minimal. Now this is with the Viltrox at 50mm. And as you see, there is a very dark vignette. This is with the Viltrox at 75mm. I never go beyond 80mm with the Viltrox to keep it simple and easy, but this is at 250mm. And finally, the magnification with 36mm of extension tubes at a focal length of 50mm. Now with this setup with the flash on camera, we have a new problem. This is at 50mm, but that's what I get when I go closer to the subject. This is the shadow of the tip of the lens. The solution would be to shoot with the sunlight only, or with a LED light placed more on the side, or with a flash not fixed on the camera, which I may try in a future video. Here we have a really small green mosquito, a fly, a banana stalk fly. Quick overview of the lens. With that kind of kit lens, you have to rotate the zoom ring and extend the lens first in order to use it. And this is the zoom range that you have from 50mm to 250mm. This is what you get at 50mm. And this is at 250mm. The zoom ring is not very smooth. The mount is in plastic, the lens is mostly in plastic, that's why it's lightweight. The focus ring is nice and smooth enough. It will override the autofocus, which I like, but it can also become a control ring for your ISO or aperture, for example. The filter thread is 62mm, inside there are 7 rounded aperture blades and 16 elements in 12 groups. The lens is made for APS-C Z mount and it is stabilized, which is good because there are no Nikon APS-C camera with in-body image stabilization so far in early 2026. As you saw, the image stabilization is quite good and the focus breathing is minimum. I should have used a tripod for that. A few more photos taken in Iloilo from the window of my room at the 12th floor. This lens feels plasticky, you will get some vignetting, it's not weather sealed, the apertures are on the darker side, the zoom ring is a bit sticky, and I'm okay with all of that. It's sharp, versatile, lightweight, compact, good for close-up and things that are far away. It has image stabilization, a control ring, not much chromatic aberration or flaring problems. And that's the only one Nikon telephoto zoom lens for APS-C with the ZDX 18-140. If you get it as a kit with your camera, you add only $200 US. A very good deal in my opinion. I own it since more than 2 months and it's a lot of fun. I bought it with the double kit lenses, the ZDX 16-50 and the ZDX 50-250, along with the Z50 Mark II. As you saw, you can do a lot with that 50-250 lens, except wide-angle shots, like this one taken at night with my other Nikon kit lens, the ZDX 16-50 at 16mm, or this one taken with my Sony 11mm f1.8. Unfortunately, I could not use a tripod for this one, so it's not super sharp. This video is not sponsored, I can say whatever I want. If you want to help my channel, you can buy me a printable image, link in the description below. And that's it. Bye.